Histology of pancreas. For histological studies, stains such as hematoxylin and eosin are used for staining organ tissues. Here is a diagram of magnified pancreatic tissue. This is parenchyma. It consists of acinus. These are acinus. This is a pancreatic duct. This is interlobular septum seen under microscope. This is interlobular duct. These are blood vessels. And this is intralobular duct. This is lumen of acinus. See, central lumen of acinus. Now coming to duct system of pancreas. This is pancreatic duct. This is interlobular duct. It divides into intralobular ducts. This divides into intercalated ducts. These are berry-shaped structure, acinus. Acinus is lined by simple cuboidal epithelium. Intercalated duct starts within the acinus. It has two parts, intraacinar part which lies within the acinus and extraacinar part which lies outside the acinus. Intraacinar part is lined by flattened cuboidal epithelium and extraacinar part is lined by simple cuboidal epithelium. Now intralobular duct is also lined by simple cuboidal epithelium. Interlobular duct, it varies in sizes, so the small ones are lined by simple cuboidal epithelium and the larger ones is lined by columnar epithelium, simple columnar epithelium. This is a 3D picture of inside of pancreas. These are islets of Langerhans. This is main pancreatic duct. These are short ducts. These are acinus. These are blood vessels. All these. Now histology of acinus. This is acinus. These are acinar cells or lobules of acinus. This is intercalated duct. As I told you earlier, the intraacinar part of intercalated duct is lined by flattened cuboidal epithelium. So these are cells of flattened cuboidal epithelium. So these cells are known as centroacinar cells. These cells within the acinus just. Now let's see inside the acinus. As I told you earlier, it is lined by simple cuboidal epithelium, and these are the cells of simple cuboidal epithelium. It has a broad part known as basal lamina and a narrow part known as apical surface. On the broad side, there lies many organelles for the production of enzymes. Organelles such as Golgi bodies, mitochondria, ribosomes needed for the production of enzyme. And here you can see some black dots. These black dots are called zymogen granules. After we eat food, these granules get stimulated and are activated, and then they are released by the process of exocytosis into the lumen of the acinus. And from here they travel through the ducts and reach to the duodenum. Now here is endocrine cell of pancreas, that is islets of Langerhans. This is islets of Langerhans. Inside this there are alpha, beta, gamma, delta and pp cells, as you can see, and majority is beta cells, 70%, commonly located in the central part. These are fenestrated capillaries that have pores. These are alpha cells, 15 to 20%. Then these are delta and pp cells, 5 to 10% delta cells, less than 5% pp cells. pp is pancreatic polypeptide cells. The islets of Langerhans are demarcated from the rest of the parenchyma by a delicate sheet of reticular fibers. Two and more islets of Langerhans are connected to each other with desmosomes and gap junctions. Desmosomes are adhesive protein complexes. Here is a 3D image of islet of Langerhans. See, this is islet of Langerhans containing alpha, beta, gamma, delta cells. These are acinar cells. These are blood capillaries. This is whole pancreas. Now some important points. 80 to 98% pancreas is exocrine and 20 to 2% pancreas is endocrine. First of all, pancreas is a gland. It is a serous gland, not a mucus gland. The pancreas is covered by a thin capsule made of loose connective tissue. Under a microscope, pancreas is seen similar to parotid gland. Islets of Langerhans is a unique feature of pancreas that differentiates it from other glands. Thank you.